Every movie ends up with some scene or bits that have to fall away. And occasionally you see these DVD extras with deleted scenes or an extended cut. I'm a big believer that the director's cut, the final cut, is whatever the process has delivered to the theater. I don't really believe in releasing an extended cut. I think the movie is what the movie is. And I've never included extras on a disc as a result. But there were particular sequences, including this one in the Grand Palais, which we thought were really fantastic and wanted to include them, not as scenes, but just to show you the work and effort that goes into developing sequences like this. This is all done practically at the Grand Palais. Much of it is done practically at the Grand Palais, and these were scenes which, in the moment and on the day, you feel are incredibly important. Introductions to characters that you've worked on and you've crafted, and you discover when the movie takes on a life of its own that there are things that just don't necessarily need to be in the movie. Every single one of these that you're looking at were the ones that we debated the most, and moments that provided great character, but also affected pace, sometimes created story confusion, sometimes slowed down a sequence even though they're incredibly fast.
Yeah, and whole locations like this, you know, where the production has dressed a huge building and you spend a day filming, but ultimately you decide that it's not necessary.
Or in this case, this is a set that was then later repurposed and turned into the interior White Widow, and some of this dialogue found its way into other scenes, and suddenly you didn't need this scene anymore. That was a consequence of the fact that the movie starts before there's a finished script. You're writing the movie as you're going, and sometimes in scenes like this where you feel there needs to be a whole lot more explanation of how things happen and why, and you shoot these to protect yourself, and only then do you realize, you know, the story could move on without it.
Yeah, great images. So we decided to put together a montage to music of just the greatest hits of stuff that didn't quite make it into the movie, but are beautiful images with finished visual effects a lot of the time. But at the last, you know, literally in the last few weeks of putting the film together, we decided to remove them in order to get the film really tight and really exciting and really engaging, so nothing outstayed its welcome.
And we were looking at these things and saying, what a shame that these things are all going to end up in a vault somewhere and nobody's ever going to see them. So we decided to compromise on that rule.
And some of these images are in the trailers that you would have seen. You
yes.
know, but now you've seen in the context why they didn't end up in the movie. And this little moment between Ethan and Ilsa was going to end the film originally.
And we realized we already had it. We had it in a tent in New Zealand, and as beautiful as the shot was, we didn't need it.